All right. Well, Jim, you're the one that asked me to talk about um, rebirth experience in your life when you learn to see the world anew. So here it is. There is a first time when you are suddenly aware of the world around you. From then on, it is building on that consciously through rebirth, the continuing, ongoing, never ending experiences. Do we ever stop experiencing the world anew? I hope not. To remain stagnant is not the answer, but to give yourself permission to grow, to be open in this ever changing world. That is the excitement, creativity, and the humanness and challenge. Even now, especially now, I am open to one more thing about the world and its humanity. So, for you, when did you become aware of the first time of the world around you? Were you very young, a bit older? When? When did you see and feel the stars, the warmth of the sun, the green grass, flowers blooming, a blue sky? When did you first have a best friend? Maybe experience a death, a disappointment, your first love. So, rebirth for me, a continuing awareness, a building on the original aha experience. That aha experience comes to all of us at one time or another. And I'll share mine with you and then perhaps two more experiences that I've had. The aha experience was when I was about, oh, maybe 10 years old. And my mother was just walking around and not looking glum. And I said, gee, Mom, what's the matter? And she said, well, I just spoke to the janitor. The janitor lived in the basement with a wife and a couple of children, little girls. And she said, well, our janitor is very unhappy because he has to go to Alabama to take his wife to her mother's funeral. And they don't know what to do with the two little girls. They don't have anybody to take care of them. So my mother said, I decided that I would take care of them. So I said to him, I'll take care of your two little girls. And that took care of that. So we had these two little girls in our home for a couple of days, and that was wonderful. And afterward, when they came back, and they came back in a day or two, um, the people in the apartment building were not very nice to my mother. They were they were really kind of mean to her, and she just ignored them completely. See, the two little girls happened to be two little black girls, and that was really something at that time when I was 10 or 11 years old. So that was my aha experience. All of a sudden, I realized that there was more to this world than just me and who I am and who my friends are. So I'll go on and share with you then how I built, what the rebirth of that aha experience was for me. And I'll give you two examples. I joined a group at Elmhurst College. I lived in Elmhurst at the time. It's a suburb of Chicago. And they decided to do some mission work in the inner city. And they went to the McKinley Center in Chicago, who offered a training program. And after the training program, um, they assigned us a family to work with. So I was assigned a young woman. Her name was Sarah, and her children. And they lived in an apartment building then, maybe 6 to 8 apartments, I'd say. And we became friends, very good friends. And one day I was visiting her, and we were sitting in the front room when I saw this black cat run across the dining room. So I said, gee, Sarah, I didn't know you had a cat. And she said, that's not a cat, Gloria. That's a rat. I, I just, it was big. So she showed me where it went, a hole on the side of the toilet that the rat was able to go down to the apartment below. She also said, we take turns in the evening watching our children because the rats nibble at them when they're sleeping. The landlord said he would fix the hole. And so that summer, and also there were no screens on building, and and he would take care of the screens. Well, he didn't, and so we had a meeting. We got all the women together in the apartment building. We had a meeting, took him to court, and we got our screens and we got that hole fixed. One day, weeks later, she told me that they all had to move as they were to demolish the building. Um, Weeks later, I called and she had moved, and she would move to the projects. And I don't know if you've ever been in any of those projects, but they're not very good. So I said I would be down to see her, and I did. And she said, just don't come in, just park your car out in front, and I will be there to meet you. I said, okay. So she was there to meet me, and she met me with tears in her eyes. And she said that, Gloria, you can't come here anymore. It's much, much too dangerous for a white woman to visit. And she said, even I'm afraid to get in my elevator or even take the stairs at times. I certainly did see the world anew that day. I certainly did. Then there was another time that I had two friends, both were social workers. Ida James was also an AME minister, and my other was a friend from Elmhurst. Ida had a church on the west side in Chicago, and she asked us if we would teach her middle school girls on Sunday. And we said, well, sure, we'd be glad to. And I said, Ida, I know nothing about teaching in your church or any church at that time. And she said, all I want you to do, Gloria, teach those girls life skills. They'll be going to high school pretty soon, and they need to have that information. And I will take care of the rest. So we did. After about 2 years of teaching and feeling so much a part of the church and the people, one Sunday, Ida's husband met us as we parked the car, and we wondered why nobody's ever come to meet us when we parked the car and walked across the street. He informed us sadly that this was our last Sunday that we would be able to come to the church. And we said, but why? What's going on? He said, the gangs have entered this neighborhood and they're not friendly. They're rather dangerous, and especially to white people and to white women. So in order to save you and keep you safe, you can't come down anymore. So that certainly was another rebirth experience on my original aha experience. Seeing the world anew, a sad, sad story for all. Our girls, our friends, Ida and her family. There are many more in many, many years to share. And in those many years to share, I do certainly have many. But the first original aha that awakened my consciousness and awareness that continues, especially in today's world. So I'd like to end with just one little remark. We must live in the radiance of tomorrow, for what is yet to come tomorrow has possibilities. We must think of it, the simple glimpse of that possibility of goodness, that will be our strength. Thank you.